Rocks rock, these are sedimentary, one of the three main types of rocks on Earth you're about to see. When sedimentary rocks form, they accumulate and are compressed, and sediments are cemented over time, I do confess. There are 5 main steps for sedimental rocks to form. We will look at each step, learn while I inform. Rocks rock, these are sedimentary, one of the 3 main types of rocks on Earth you're about to see. Weather rings when rocks are broken down into smaller particles through wind, water, and temperature. These changes are natural. Erosion's the transportation of weathered particles by wind, water, ice, and gravity. In water and land they are pulled. Depositions when the sediment is deposited and accumulates in layers over time in riverbeds, ocean, deserts, and lakes. Rocks rock, these are sedimentary, one of the 3 main types of rocks on Earth you're about to see. Sedimentary rocks can be put into 3 main categories, you know. Let's look at each one as they are shown. Plastic sedimentary rocks are rocks that consist of sandstone, shale, and conglomerate. Now you know this. Chemical sedimentary rocks are what you see now. These consist of limestone and rock salt, of this I do vow. Organic sedimentary rocks, of this I do condone. Examples include coal and some types of limestone. Rocks rock, these are sedimentary, one of the 3 main types of rocks on Earth you're about to see. Shop our new store merch and get custom birthday videos with your favorite characters. There are 3 kinds of rocks on Earth you will see: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Our world is full of these rocks, on land and in the sea. Igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. I'm a main type of rock. My name is Igneous. I am the first main type of rock of the 3 of us. Igneous rocks form when volcanic magma cools, either at the Earth's surface or inside Earth's crust. I school. When magma cools slowly under Earth's surface, it's called intrusive igneous rock. It's worth knowing this. But when magma cools on the surface of the Earth, it's called extrusive igneous rock. Now let's move forth. Here are some examples of igneous rock: basalt, rhyolite, and obsidian. We don't really talk. Igneous rock makes up 95% of the Earth's surface. This has been time well spent. I'm a type of rock called sedimentary. Let's break down the meaning of my name to learn about me. Sediment, small particles of sand or organic material that settle at the bottom of water or land as gravity pulls. Sedimentary rock forms when sediment builds up over time. It's compressed into layers, forming rocks till their prime. You can find lots of fossils in sedimentary rock, when plant and animal remains are squished in layers in which we had just talked. Here are some examples of the rock called sedimentary. Limestone, sandstone, and shale are 3 you can now see. I'm a type of rock called metamorphic. I am one of the main types of rock, to be more specific. Metamorphosis means to change, and I'm transformed by heat and pressure from existing rocks. Here is more about me. Any type of rock can become metamorphic when transformed by extreme heat and pressure like this. Metamorphic rocks form deep within the Earth's crust, where temperatures and pressures are high. It's a must. Here are some examples of metamorphic rock I'll show: lapis lazuli, schist, and beautiful marble. There are 3 kinds of rocks on Earth you will see: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Our world is full of these rocks, on land and in the sea. Igneous, is metamorphic and sedimentary. Check out our new animal channel. It's called KLT Wild. We're the U.S. presidents of Mount Rushmore, a national memorial in Keystone, South Dakota. We represent the most important events in the history of the United States and the North American continent. South Dakota historian Don Robinson, that's who you see, conceived the idea of Mount Rushmore in 1923. He persuaded sculptor Gutzon Borglum to take on the task and chose these four presidents' faces in their glory we all bask. I'm George Washington, I represent the birth of the USA. I led colonists to win the American Revolutionary War, I say. Most viewed me as a leading father of this new country. I did lay the foundation for American democracy. I became the first U.S. president in the year of 1789 after winning freedom for the American people from Great Britain. I'm so fine. I'm Thomas Jefferson. I was the third U.S. president and the primary author of the Declaration of Independence. This document inspires democracies around the world now. I also represent the growth of the United States. This is how I purchased a piece of land from France called the Louisiana Territory, which doubled the size of this country in 1803. We're the U.S. presidents of Mount Rushmore, a national memorial in Keystone, South Dakota. We represent the most important events in the history of the United States and the North American continent. I'm Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th U.S. president. I negotiated the construction of the Panama Canal, linking east to west. I was called Trust Buster for my work to end large corporate monopolies to ensure the rights of the common workers like you and me. Borglum chose my head for Mount Rushmore, and he didn't hesitate because I represent the development of the United States. I'm Abraham Lincoln, the 16th U.S. president. Here is more. I held the nation together during the trying times of the Civil War. My biggest commitment was to make sure that slavery came to an end. Trade tariffs and slavery were reasons the Civil War began. Go celebrate the freedoms that we built for you in the USA. Be kind and accept each other because that's the free way. We're the U.S. presidents of Mount Rushmore, a national memorial in Keystone, South Dakota. We represent the most important events in the history of the United States and the North American continent. Shop our new store merch and get custom birthday videos with your favorite characters. Here's a theory of how the Earth was formed, so scientists would say this interstellar journey will show you the role gravity had played. Almost 5 billion years ago, there was only our sun, which was a newborn star surrounded by dust was how it begun. Over time, this dust began to slam into one another due to gravity pulling it in as it smashed into each other. The planet that we live on was made by space dust and rocks that formed Earth over millions of years into an orb, not a box. They say 4.5 billion years ago Earth was a fireball. That's right, with surface temperatures over 2,000 degrees in Fahrenheit. At this point there was no air, just carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and water vapor, making it hot and toxic when the Earth began. Our boiling ball of liquid rock was slammed by a young planet. This planet's name was Theia. It was the size of Mars as you see it. The blast wave from this collision sent trillions of tons of debris, which over time was pulled back in to circle the Earth by gravity. This giant ring around the Earth was made of red hot dust and rock, eventually formed our moon we see today. I know it's a shock. Let's speed up millions of years to see how water formed. About 3.9 billion years ago, Earth was hit by a meteor storm. Inside each meteor, scientists think there were small crystals. Each crystal held tiny droplets of water inside their shells. Over the 20 million years that these meteors fell, pools of water started to form on the cooling crust. I do tell, all water on our Earth is billions of years old. Now you This hot core pushes molten rock up and out the Earth's new crust. When the lava cools, it forms a land we know as it builds and thrusts. Over time, these land masses start to collide and eventually form our continents we know today do still transform. Here's a theory of how the Earth was formed, so scientists would say this interstellar journey will show you the role gravity had played. How did Earth get its atmosphere we have today? There are three basic atmospheric hypotheses still used to this day. The first atmosphere was made up of hydrogen and helium gas. These molecules move so fast they escape Earth's gravity into space at last. The second was made of lots of volcanoes releasing water as steam and carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfate, ammonia, and methane. Science agreed. The third and current atmosphere is made up of this. You will see plants take in carbon dioxide and give off oxygen to you and me. All animals take in oxygen and give off CO2. Also volcanoes and burning stuff produces this like fossil fuels. We burn too many fossil fuels and have too many factory farms. All this carbon dioxide we produce is doing our Earth harm. It's up to us to change the way we consume and create energy. If you start to make changes now, our planet will change, you will see. Please do your part to save the Earth, to improve your future now. We're capable of change, go make us all proud. Here's a theory of how the Earth was formed, so scientists would say this interstellar journey will show you the role gravity had played. You're so smart and important, so believe in what you can do. Make a change and set the stage in Earth's future for you. Check out our new animal channel. It's called KLT Wild. I am the Earth, the only planet with organic life. With 8.7 million species, we all fight to survive. You all live on me, so work like bees in a hive and keep this planet really healthy so that we can all thrive. My atmosphere is 78% nitrogen. Another 21% of it is oxygen. Another small percentages of other elements. Without my atmosphere around, you would be frozen. I take 365 Earth days to orbit the sun. 24 hours makes one day, that's just one time that I'm spun. You won't fly off into space, gravity's pulling you down as fast as 9.8 meters a second towards the ground. I am the Earth, the only planet with organic life. With 8.7 million species, we all fight to survive. You all live on me, so work like bees in a hive and keep this planet really healthy so that we can all thrive. There are 12 different types of climates that exist on me. Moderate, polar, dry, and tropical are 4 groups you see. Then there is continental, it is the 5th category. One climate in no group is highland, way above the sea. I'm the 3rd planet from the sun, no one is denser than me. My axis tilted 23.5, yeah, that's my degree. 4.5 billion years ago is when I was born, you see. I am the Earth, the only planet with organic life. With 8.7 million species, we all fight to survive. You all live on me, so work like bees in a hive and keep this planet really healthy so that we can all thrive. Shop our new store merch and get custom birthday videos with your favorite characters. Let's talk about the lithosphere and the 7 major tectonic plates. It's what shapes the face of the Earth with volcanoes and earthquakes. The lithosphere consists of the upper mantle and the crust. They're part of the geosphere on Earth, which makes these plates adjust. Tectonic plates plates are irregularly shaped slabs of solid rock, composed of oceanic and continental lithosphere bedrock. There are three tectonic boundaries running between tectonic plates. Divergent, convergent, and transform. Now aren't those names just great? Divergent boundaries move away from each other and produce rip valleys. Most active between oceanic plates, yes, the plates out in the sea. Convergent boundaries move toward one another and destructively collide. That's where you'd find those earthquakes and volcanoes do reside. Transform boundaries are two plates that slide past one another. The San Andreas Fault line's the best example of this to discover. Let's talk about the lithosphere and the 7 major tectonic plates. It's what shapes the face of the earth with volcanoes and earthquakes. Let's look at this topological map of the earth that we live on. And the 7 major tectonic plates we're learning in this song. The biggest is the Pacific plate. It lies beneath the Pacific Ocean, nicknamed the Ring of Fire due to all the volcanic commotion. The North American plate is the next on the list of major plates. It includes both continental and oceanic crust, I indicate. Next we have the Eurasian plate, also a major tectonic grate. 2 large continents, it includes our Europe and Asia today. Let's talk about the lithosphere and the 7 major tectonic plates. It's what shapes the face of the earth with volcanoes and earthquakes. Then the African plate is next. It does straddle the vast equator. Most of Africa's continents in it, that's an easy way to locate her. The Antarctic plate is a medium size of the 7 plates that are major. It houses the continent of Antarctica, you'll hear as I banter. The Indo-Australian plate is on the smaller side of the majors. It's often considered 2 plates, but as one it's definitely much greater. The South American plate is the smallest of the major plates, you know. That includes South America and Atlantic Ocean seabed below. Talk about the lithosphere and the 7 major tectonic plates. It's what shapes the face of the earth with volcanoes and earthquakes. Talk about the lithosphere and the 7 major tectonic plates. It's what shapes the face of the earth with volcanoes and earthquakes. Check out our new animal channel. It's called KLT Wild. I'm the second of 2 rovers launched in 2003. I search for ancient water on Mars, I'm Opportunity. After landing on Mars in 2004, I made a number of discoveries. One was minerals dispersed by groundwater causing rock cavities. I happen to be a record holder lasting 15 years on Mars. I was planned for a 90-day mission on the red planet among the stars. I'm the twin of a robot called Spirit that launched before me. Here's a look at my parts, we'll explore and see. I have panoramic cameras on the top of my camera bar to show NASA what I see on Mars near and far. I've sent 217,594 raw images back to Earth to be reviewed by scientists. The miniature thermal emission spectrometer or mini test you now see provides measurements of mineralogy and thermophysical properties. The magnet array is in the front of me, grabbing dust at a mast, collecting magnetic grains of the red planet's past. The PanCam calibration target looks like a sundial with a tin. It helps fine-tune observations from imagers and instruments. My robotic arm instruments do work as a human geologist would, holding and using science tools with its hand or turret like it should. I have 6 wheels to truck me around the Martian surface you see. I have traveled 28 miles and down slopes at 32 degrees. This is my multi-panel solar array, generating 140 watts of power up to 4 hours per solar Martian day. Dust storm stopped me on my record-breaking launch mission in 2018. I permanently stopped transmitting information. I'm the second of 2 rovers launched in 2003. I search for ancient water on Mars, I'm Opportunity. Shop our new store merch and get custom birthday videos with your favorite characters. What is heliocentrism? This is something you'll learn here. Who is Nicholas Copernicus? Of this I'll also share. For over 1500 years, ancient man thought the Earth was the center of the solar system. That was what was taught. This theory was called the geocentric model shown here, which means the Earth was the center of the universe. I do share. But in the 16th century, things began to change. A man named Nicholas Copernicus to decide to rearrange. He introduced a new and at the time crazy theory, placing the sun or soul in the center of the solar system. You can see this new theory of the solar system revolving around the sun was called the heliocentrism model. To say it is so fun. In the 17th century, his idea did take hold when evidence was compiled by these astronomers was told. Tycho Brahe, Johannes Kepler, and Galileo Galilei, you see, used different strategies to prove Copernicus's theory. Tycho used parallax measurements and shot for the stars. When he did this, he recorded data when he focused on Mars. Johannes Kepler used Tycho's information and found this: the orbits of the planets and Earth were ellipses. Galileo Galilei used the newly invented telescope to see far to discover the Milky Way cloud were actually stars. Galileo also learned that the sun had spots on it. I sang this indicated the sun was definitely rotating. All this info proved that the heliocentrism model was right. From that point on, it was accepted, all from staring up at night. What is heliocentrism? This is something you'll learn here. Who is Nicholas Copernicus? Of this I'll also share. Check out our new animal channel. It's called KLT Wild. What are the Milankovitch cycles and their role in Earth's climate change? Let's take a look at the 3 cycles and how they rearrange. The Milankovitch cycles are also called Earth's axis cycles. Now let's learn about them all. The Earth's been orbiting for 4.5 billion years, you know, around the sun on its axis, which often changes, I will show. Earth makes changes in its orbital shape, axis, and orbital plane. These changes are called the Milankovitch cycles. Let me explain. The Milankovitch cycles include the 3 listed here. Let's see how they affect climate change on Earth's big sphere. The first cycle is called eccentricity, which has to do with the shape of Earth's orbit over time. You'll see every 100,000 years the Earth's orbital path does change due to the pull of gravity from Jupiter and Saturn. I explain. Earth's orbit varies between 0.0034, almost a perfect circle, 2.058, which is slightly elliptical. The Earth's closest approach to the sun is called perihelion, and its farthest distance is called aphelion. This cycle creates a 25% difference in solar radiation between the southern and northern hemispheres in all nations. Obliquity's the second cycle we'll discuss on Earth's orbital run. It's the angle Earth's axis of rotation's tilted, traveling around the sun. Obliquity's why the Earth has seasons with respect to its orbital plane. This cycle is important to Earth's climate change. It tilts 22.1 to 24.5 degrees over a 41,000 year cycle called obliquity. As obliquity decreases, it gradually helps make milder seasons. You see increasing ice cover at high latitudes to help reflect the sun's energy. Precession is the 3rd cycle in which the Earth hasn't avoided. It has to do with the direction Earth's axis of rotation is pointed. When the Earth spins on its axis, it starts to wobble. It's true due to the tidal forces caused by the gravitational influences of the sun and the moon. This cycle of axial precession spans about 25,000 years, which makes a seasonal contrast more extreme in one of the 2 hemispheres. All 3 of these cycles react with each other in such a way it changes Earth in many ways within climate change. What are the Milankovitch cycles and their role in Earth's climate change? Let's take a look at the 3 cycles and how they rearrange. Shop our new store merch and get custom birthday videos with your favorite characters. My name is Pluto, I'm a dwarf planet. Of this I am clear. I'm here to tell you about my thin and bizarre atmosphere. If you travel past the planets from the burning sun, you can find me in the Kuiper Belt in your solar system. I have an elongated orbit when I orbit the sun. Once every 248 years, there's more to come. My weak atmosphere expands when I'm closer to the sun, and it collapses as I move further away on my run. New Horizons flew past Pluto in 2015 with sheer and saw a thin haze around my surface. It's my strange atmosphere. Nitrogen mostly makes up my atmosphere as it's gas caused by sunlight warming nitrogen ice on my planet's surface. New Horizons team found that tons of nitrogen gas does escape from my planet by the hour, but don't know how it's replaced. Where is this new nitrogen gas coming from? Let's look at some scientist theories, not for fact but for fun. It's thought a geological process pulling nitrogen up and out of Pluto's interior is one theory. Let's see what it's about. It's possible the presence of ongoing geysers do exist, or ice volcanoes from its interior pushing gas to its surface. But there's a new theory scientists have hypothesized from data taken from New Horizons the team had devised. Sublimation driven convections of theory that may suffice. From Sputnik Planitia, a crater filled with nitrogen ice, a transition of a substance directly from the solid to the gas state. This is without passing through the liquid state. More evidence is needed to secure this new theory. When I have more information, I will share it more clearly. My name is Pluto, I'm a dwarf planet. Of this I am clear. I'm here to tell you about my thin and bizarre atmosphere. Check out our new animal channel. It's called KLT Wild. Within the first planet, there's a cooling emergency. This planet shrinking much faster, yes, I am Mercury. In 2004, NASA launched the Messenger probe. It traveled 1,260 days to reach Mercury from their globe. Messenger took about 100,000 images by 2012, mapping 99% of my surface so you can see it well. These images were sent to scientists back to Earth to inspect, to confirm what Mariner 10 probe did suspect. They saw wrinkles and rifts on Mercury's surface. It's like a raisin orbiting the sun. But why is this? Scientists confirm Mercury is shrinking since its distant past. Over 4 billion years, it's 8 miles smaller in diameter, shrinking fast. The reason Mercury is shrinking is because its cooling core will look inside the planet to see if we can learn more. Mercury has a large metallic core, 85% of its radius, which is very large for a planet, in which we'll discuss. When the core does cool over this amount of time, a planet will shrink. You have learned this in this rhyme. When the planet's core cools, the surface shrinks with it, causing rifts and valleys to occur, looking like a raisin, I admit. To shrink, heat must have escaped out of its cooling core. This heat must have escaped through its mantle via heat pipes like a door. Within the first planet, there's a cooling emergency. This planet shrinking much faster, yes, I am Mercury. Shop our new store merch and get custom birthday videos with your favorite characters. What's the difference between meteors, asteroids, and comets? Let's take a look at how they travel and form. I am a comet, which is a body of ice, also rock and dust. To be precise, I can be several miles in diameter, mostly ranging from 10 to 100 kilometers for sure. I do orbit the sun just like planets and asteroids do. I have a very elongated orbit, it's true. Comets materialized 4.5 billion years ago from dust and gas. Now you know. These icy particles join together by gravity, which does force them into one, as you can see. When comets pass through the inner solar system. It's ice worms releasing a trail of gas and dust. That's how my tail forms. I'm a meteoroid. I am found in space. I range in size from a small asteroid to a small dust grain. Meteoroids are thought to form from the collision of asteroids in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter's void. I become a meteor when I burn up in the atmosphere. That's when you see a shooting star or a fireball near. If I survive this burning of entry through your atmosphere and hit the ground, I'm called a meteorite. I share. I'm an asteroid. I'm sometimes called a minor planet to some. I'm a rocky leftover from the formation of the solar system. I do orbit the sun. I do range in size from a dust particle to 600 miles wide. I probably consist of clay and silicate rocks. You know, I'm dark in appearance and ancient as far as the solar system goes. The difference between us is quite substantial. We will tell you what this is so you understand in full. A meteoroid is a space rock the size of a grain of dust or a small asteroid, but we can't talk. A comet is an object made of ice and dust. How fun! Often with a gas halo and tail that orbits the sun. An asteroid is an ancient rock from the formation of the place you live called the solar system. What's the difference between meteors, asteroids, and comets? Let's take a look at how they travel and form. Thanks for watching KLT. Please subscribe to this channel, like our videos, and check out the KLT merch store.